So right now a lot of people are talking about Sega stuff, and that's a good thing because Sega is awesome. Sega FES 2018 brought a lot of cool things to the table, and one of those things was of course the Mega Drive Mini, something that a lot of people have been hoping for and wanting Sega to create. But unfortunately it looks like that is going to be made by ATGames or ATGames, who have constantly made Sega products throughout the past 8 or 9 years, and unfortunately they've always been pretty poor when it comes to quality. There's been issues with graphics, sound, emulation. It's just not a great system. So if you're looking forward to that, you might want to hold back a little bit because unfortunately the track record just isn't there. But there are alternatives out there if you want to play Sega Genesis stuff on your HD television. And Gamerz Tek sent over a care package a couple days ago, and one of the products is the MiniGen HD. Now this is a plug and play Genesis clone console that you can play on your HD television that has HDMI out. So today on the channel, we're going to take a look at this. We're going to unbox it, see what comes inside the box. We're going to play some games, see how it plays the games, and see if this is something worth checking out. So sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel, and let's check out the MiniGen HD from Gamerz Tek.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards!
Alright, so let's open this bad boy up and see what comes inside the box. What's in the box, man? What's in the box? So here is the unit itself. Pretty small, basic unit. You have your on-off switch. You have your reset button. Ooh, that's a good click. I like a good click. And on the back side of the unit, you have the HD cable slot. You do have a 4x3 and a 16:9 thing, so if you want to adjust the aspect ratio. For this video, we'll be doing 4x3, of course. I may do one video in 16:9 so you can see how it looks stretched. You, of course, have composite out if that's what you want to use, and then a DC in, which is just a USB-C plug right there. On the front of the unit, you have 2 controller slots, so that is cool. You have a 2-year warranty with this system, so I mean that's actually pretty good. Most of these clone systems do not come with warranties that are over 6 months to a year, so 2 years is pretty decent. Comes with 2 controllers, so that's pretty cool. Multiplayer right out of the box. And I like the way the controllers feel. It's a 6-button layout, which of course is the preferred way to play your Genesis, in my opinion at least. The D-pad feels pretty good. I've actually checked out these controllers before. We did a MiniGen, which was just a standard, not an HD review, a couple months ago. It was just a composite out Genesis clone console that was pretty cheap, and it was pretty decent, and it came with these same controllers, so I am familiar with these controllers. Composite cables. Power brick, thing to plug in your power, and of course another HDMI cable. So pretty good stuff. You get 2 controllers. I believe this retails for $45. I'll have a link to Gamerz Tek website in the description box down below. No, I don't get any kickback for it. It's just if you're interested in it. But yeah, so far so good. The controllers feel nice. You get 2 of them. It comes with everything you need right out of the box, but does it play the games well? Because honestly, that's really all that matters. So we're going to check out some games. We're going to check out a few different things and see how this system's compatibility is, because at the end of the day, that's really what matters with this. Alright, so first up, we're going to look at arguably the best fighter on the Genesis, Street Fighter II Special Champion Edition. I really enjoyed this version of the game. This was actually the first console version of Street Fighter II that I ever owned. I picked this up for my Sega Genesis as I did not have a Super Nintendo as a kid, so this was a game that I played a lot, so I'm very familiar with it. But what's strange is the Genesis only got one version of Street Fighter II, where the Super Nintendo actually got 4 different Street Fighter games on it. And so it's kind of like, what's up, Capcom? You don't love the Sega Genesis? Like, what's going on with you? But as you can see, the game looks pretty good. It's definitely playing very well. I am using the 6-button controller that came with the system because I figured this would probably be a good way for me to test out the D-pad and see how it feels. It does feel pretty good, and I like the controller, honestly. It's pretty solid. Now, Chun-Li seems to think that she's gonna win this round here, which was really strange to me. She has a good advantage here, but I mean, I'm RGT 85. I don't lose. I'm not going to lose here. So Chun-Li's about to get the business here. But yeah, you know, I'm playing it in 4x3 mode. Everything looks good like it should. Everything sounds like it should. And the controller feels well. So let's check out another game. You can't really talk about the Sega Genesis without talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. And Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the pack-in game with my Sega Genesis, probably the game I played the most on the Sega Genesis, so I figured this would be a good game to look at. And as you can see, there are no graphical issues with this game, which is very good because honestly, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is obviously a game that a lot of people that could potentially pick up this system will be interested in playing, as it is one of the best games on the platform and definitely one of the most iconic. But the ATGames systems, they don't have good audio. The audio is terrible and the songs are always sort of messed up. So here's a little clip of the audio. I mean, sounds good to me. Let's check out another game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Hyperstone Heist. Now, this honestly is a game that I need to play more of. I haven't really played much of this version. I was more into the Super Nintendo version. I picked up Turtles in Time. I remember from a GameStop for like $8 back in the day. And of course, now it's a bit of a pricier game, but I never played this version of Ninja Turtles on a 16-bit system, but it's actually pretty good. You know, it's actually a lot of fun. Some people actually prefer this to Turtles in Time. I'm not sure quite how I feel about that. I feel that the audio in the Super Nintendo version is better. But yeah, here's a little Hyperstone Heist running on the MiniGen HD in the 4x3 mode. The next game we're going to take a look at, I'm going to run in the 16:9 mode, so you can sort of see how it looks stretched if you like stretching your game. Some people do, some people don't. Me personally, I prefer 4x3, but sometimes it is fun to look at 16:9, so let's check out another game. And of course, we have to have some Castlevania on one of these videos because it's freaking Castlevania. And here is Castlevania Bloodlines, a super underrated game. And nobody ever gives this game credit when it comes to 2D Castlevania games. Everyone, of course, talks about the Super Nintendo ones, the PC Engine one, Rondo of Blood, even the NES ones, but nobody talks about this game. And it really blows my mind because I think this is a fantastic game. It looks really good. The music in the game is really well done. The characters, maybe not the most interesting, but it's really interesting how bloody this game is. Like when you kill a ghoul or something, they just like explode, like you hit them with a rocket launcher or something. It's definitely one of the bloodiest Castlevania games. Definitely the bloodiest 16-bit Castlevania game, and in my opinion, like I said, just a really underrated game. We're not going to mess with the Peeping Tom there. Peeping Tom, you stay there, buddy. You stay there. We're going to go look at some mermen. And these are really interesting mermen. Like you would think a merman would have like the top of a human and maybe the bottom of a mermaid, but no, these are just disgusting, grotesque creatures. But yeah, Castlevania Bloodlines, definitely a Genesis game worth owning. I just wanted to show off the 16:9 mode. I honestly think it looks pretty good. This game actually kind of looks good stretched to me. So we're going to check out one more thing that I wanted to try out with the system and then get to my final thoughts. What is this? This is not a Genesis game. This is Rastan on the Sega Master System, you might be saying to yourself. And you would be 100% correct. I wanted to try out the Power Base Mini with this system because technically if the Power Base Mini works with it, then you can play your Master System games as well on your HD television on this device. And hey, look, the Power Base Mini works great with it. So this is Rastan, which of course is a port of an arcade game. If you're wondering about that little change in the brightness, that's just a day and night cycle that is featured in the game. It's becoming night in the game right now, so it's not a graphical glitch or anything, but yeah, it plays my Master System games, which is very cool because I love playing Master System games. So definitely another plus for this system, the fact that you could play Master System games and Genesis games on your HD television all on one device as long as you have the Power Base Mini or the Power Base Converter is pretty cool. So let's get to my final thoughts on this system and see if it's something I think you should check out. So what do I think of the MiniGen HD from Gamerz Tek? It's pretty good. I can't really complain about too much. It does work with the power-based Mini, so that is a huge plus in my opinion. So you can play Master System games and Genesis games. Now, of course, this system will not work with 32X and Sega CD, so if you're looking for something for that, unfortunately, it's not going to do that. Also, I do not know if this works with an EverDrive. I do not have a Genesis EverDrive, so I cannot check that out. As far as the cartridge slot is concerned, I know that's a big concern for a lot of people. It's pretty snug. Definitely takes a little bit to get used to, but I mean, you know, simply put it in. Little bit of a grip when you're taking it out, but with a 2-year warranty, like, you know, if anything happens to it, just return it and get another. So all in all, a pretty impressive little system. It's something nice. It's something cheap that you could just pick up. And if you want to have a second Genesis system or just play some Genesis or Master System games on your HD television without much fuss, this is a good way to do it in my opinion. It's pretty cool and I like it. So thank you to Gamerz Tek for sending this over and letting me check this out. If you guys have any questions about it, let me know in the comments section down below. And thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And of course, if you really enjoyed the video, be sure to check out all the links in the description box down below. We got Patreon, t-shirts, social media, a website, all sorts of ways to keep up to date with the world of RGT 85. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.
RGT 85. RGT 85. RGT 85.